Welcome to Lost in Thailand. We're glad you're here. Sit back, relax, and dive into another unforgettable story from the shadows of Southeast Asia. A story about love that felt real until the moment it wasn't. About a man who gave everything, and what he got in return. This one is called She Said She'd Wait for Me. Then I saw this on YouTube. Let's begin. I met her in the glow of neon and the hush of ceiling fans, one of those nights when the air hangs thick and everything feels like a secret. The bar pulsed low with synth pop and cigarette smoke, the kind of place where stories begin and memories forget to end. She was behind the counter, pouring drinks with a lazy elegance, her eyes half-lidded, voice low like velvet and smoke. I wasn't looking for anything. I just wanted a cold beer and some quiet. But she smiled like she already knew me. Her name was Lynn, or so she said. In bars like that, names are masks, but hers felt real. She asked where I was from, not with the usual playfulness, but with quiet interest, like it mattered. I stayed longer than I meant to. Time dissolved into ashtrays and empty glasses. I left a big tip and told myself I wouldn't return, but I did, the next night, and the one after. Each visit longer. Each goodbye harder. One night turned into a week blurred into a rhythm. I stopped going to other bars. I didn't need to. She had a way of making the whole world shrink to just the two of us, me, her, and the flicker of candlelight over melting ice. She started coming over after her shifts. I'd cook her breakfast. She'd tease me about my terrible tie. Her laugh filled the silence I hadn't noticed until it was gone. I asked her to quit the bar. I expected hesitation, but she said yes, like she'd been waiting. I'm tired of that life, she whispered, curled against my chest. I want to be yours. I believed her. I found us a condo with a sunny balcony, gave her a key, cleared out a drawer. She filled it with silky dresses and jasmine lotion. The whole place smelled like her. I was in too deep, and I wanted deeper. If you've made it this far, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That small gesture helps us bring more true stories from the shadows of paradise. Don't miss the next one. We spent our days like a couple in a dream. Lazy mornings tangled in white sheets, soft laughter over coffee, her fingers tracing invisible circles on my chest. She talked about opening a little cafe someday. I talked about staying in Thailand for good. Don't go, she said once, looking up at me with those dark eyes. You make me feel safe. And I wanted to believe I did. When I told her I had to go back to the UK for a few weeks, just for work, nothing more, she didn't flinch. She kissed me slowly and said she'd wait. I'm not going anywhere, she promised. I'll be right here when you come back. We video called almost every night. She showed me what she cooked, the little plant she bought, the new earrings she found at the market. It all felt real. In a sleepless night, I found myself watching a nightwalk video of Pattaya just to feel close again. The streets looked the same. The buzz, the lights, the faces. Familiar. Then, without warning, the camera turned slightly to the right, and there she was. Lynn, sitting outside a bar, her fingers intertwined with someone else's. A man I'd never seen. And yet, she looked at him the way she used to look at me. That moment couldn't have lasted more than a few seconds, but it stretched into eternity. The way she smiled, the tilt of her head, her hand tracing the rim of her drink, his half-finished beer beside hers. She leaned into him, lips parted, like the whole world had narrowed to just the two of them. I sat frozen, watching the screen casting shadows across my face like a silent confession. I watched the video again, then again. Each time, her gestures sliced deeper. The way she touched his arm, the way she laughed. Her necklace caught the streetlight, the same one I'd fastened for her before our last dinner together. Her bare ankle peeked from under her dress, the tiny tattoo still there. There was no doubt, no denial left. It was her, and it wasn't just a moment. It was a story I wasn't part of. The next day I called her. She answered like nothing had changed. "Miss you," she said. "When you come back." Her voice was soft, sweet. I swallowed hard and lied. Soon. I didn't mention the video, not yet. I needed more than answers. I needed to see it in her eyes. To know if I'd been a fool, or just a man in love with a ghost. She said she was home, alone, thinking of me. I let her say it. I studied that video like it held a secret code. Every frame a betrayal. Her hand on his knee, her head tilted just so. The way she leaned into him, not casually, not politely, but intimately, like she knew the weight of his body already. I played it in silence, memorized the details. I wasn't watching strangers in a bar. I was watching my life unravel, pixel by pixel, in front of thousands of unseen eyes. Something cracked inside me, not loudly, but deep. I bought a ticket back to Thailand without telling her. I didn't know what I'd say when I saw her. I didn't even know if I'd say anything. But I had to see it. Had to breathe the same air and feel the heat press against my skin. Maybe I wanted closure. Maybe revenge. Or maybe I just needed to know how a promise could turn into silence. I landed in Bangkok under a sky heavy with rain. The air smelled like jet fuel and wet asphalt, and I moved through it like a man underwater. I didn't message her. I just took a cab straight to Pattaya, checked into a cheap hotel near the bar from the video, and waited. The streets were the same, but everything felt sharper now, like a film set you suddenly realize is fake. The bar looked no different. Same plastic chairs. Same flickering sign. Same girls laughing too loudly at men trying too hard. I sat across the street, half hidden behind a bottle of Singa, chain smoking and watching. 3 nights passed. Then, just after 10 on the 4th, she appeared, dread lips, tight dress, and the same effortless sway in her walk. But she wasn't alone. He was younger, maybe by 10 years. Clean shirt, confident smile, the kind of guy who doesn't know he's being hunted. They sat at her old table, the same one where she first held my hand. She laughed, touched his knee, whispered in his ear. I watched from the dark, my mouth dry, my hands useless. It wasn't rage I felt. It was something colder, something hollow that had my name on it. They left together, arm in arm, down a narrow street I once called home. I followed from a distance, past fruit stalls, past bars still thumping bass into the night, then up the steps of the same condo I used to pay for. I didn't go closer, didn't knock. I just stood there, staring up at the balcony where we used to sit in silence, where she once told me she loved me. She saw me the next afternoon. I was walking past a 7-Eleven when she stepped out of a taxi. For a heartbeat, our eyes locked. I expected a gasp, a stumble, something, but she only blinked. Then she looked away, like I was a stranger. Just another farang passing through. My feet froze, but my chest burned. She walked off without a word, without a flicker of guilt, leaving me in her shadow. That night, I didn't drink. I just lay on the hotel bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the fan stutter like a broken promise. I kept replaying her face in my head, how fast she turned, how little I meant. Maybe it had always been like this. Maybe I just hadn't wanted to see it. I came to Thailand chasing a feeling, and she gave it to me. Then she took it away with the same hand. I thought about going back to the bar, walking in, asking her why, demanding something, anything. But I didn't, because I already knew there wasn't going to be a confession. No cinematic apology in the rain, just silence. Just empty drawers and a scent that wouldn't leave my sheets. Sometimes betrayal doesn't arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it's just absence, cold and quiet. So I left. One last walk down Beach Road. One last nod to the waves. I boarded my flight without fanfare, without tears. Just a seat by the window and a sky too wide for regret. As the plane climbed, I looked down on the country that had held my heart like a coin in its teeth. Some part of me stayed there. The part that believed in us. The part that still wanted to. They say Thailand changes you, and they're right. It shows you beauty so vivid, it feels like a hallucination, and then it strips it away. Slow enough for you to watch yourself fall. I came here chasing a second chance, and maybe I found it. But it wasn't what I thought it would be. It wore perfume and whispered promises in the dark. Would I do it again? Maybe. Heartbreak isn't always a tragedy. Sometimes, it's just the cost of feeling alive. If this story made you feel something, anything, click like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs the warning. Because love in paradise isn't always what it seems. Stay sharp out there. Some dreams smile while they steal.